皆さんお願いがあります。リアカーを引くこのおじさん見かけたら専務一つくださいと言ってあげてください。
ドリームキャストいかがですか？
専務一つください。
あ、はい。
Dreamcast!
Welcome back to Japan, friends. Let's get ready to take a wild ride through 8 more Japan-only Dreamcast games. I like to start strong, and they don't come much stronger than this. Rent a Hero number 1. Dreamcast as fuck, Sega as fuck, comfy as fuck. You take the role of Taro Yamada, although I didn't realise he had a canonical name, so I called my dude Dreamcast. He's a 16-year-old boy who's in fact at least 27 and is swole as fuck. The game starts pretty low-key, but it quickly escalates to being completely buck wild within the first 5 minutes. Your dad's a respectable salaryman, and he's invited the neighbours over to talk business and make some contacts and stuff. The drama begins when his fattest friend is eating too much food, and you have to order some more so as not to spoil the party. Long story short, the pizza arrives with a special gift, a fully functional superhero suit, which gives you enhanced speed, strength, etc. While you were getting the pizza, your dad put on a Godzilla outfit, and you have a fight which results in him being put out of commission due to your super punch. With your dad off work now, you gotta win some bread for the family, so you fire up your Dreamcast and start taking Rent-A-Hero jobs for the Sega Corporation. These jobs can be anything from fighting crime, helping cats, and your first job is handing out flyers. You live in Station Square, basically. It's a pretty nice little town which you'll get familiar with very quickly. It's got a park, a mansion, Salmonella's Cafe. It also has Segata Sanshiro. Deep cut reference for all you Saturn fans.
Segata Sanshiro!
And it's a remake of an old Mega Drive or Genesis game from 1991. And Taro Yamada appeared in Fighters Megamix. Wow, such fan service. And it got turned into a goddamn stage play. In 2018, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Whilst our boy Taro was in a fighting game, the fighting system in his own game is unfortunately garbage. It's pretty standard, light attack, heavy attack, bash bash, that was commonplace in games of this vintage, and so I won't hold that against it. The fighting is not why I'm here anyway. I'm here to visit the all-American ramen shop and knock the fuck out of my Godzilla dad. Given that this all probably sounds like a Yakuza side quest so far, and is in fact a Yakuza side quest in Like a Dragon, it will not surprise you to learn that this game was directed by the now legendary Toshihiro Nagoshi, Mr. Yakuza himself, and also the brains behind Super Monkey Ball. Awesome dude, awesome game. Expect to hear me talk about this one more in the future. And now, a game you will never hear me talk about again. Undercover 2025 AD Kei. This game fucking sucked. And I don't say that lightly. I don't like negative YouTubers, and I don't intend to become one. However, I was super disappointed with this thing. It had so much potential. I weirdly like Japanese propaganda type stuff like the anime You're Under Arrest, or the relatively modern smash hit game Astral Chain. I don't know why, but there's just something about how bonkers and idealised it tends to be that really sings to me. So you got the Japanese cops, you got the robot cat, you got the nice Sega skybox, and you have the sexy jazz soundtrack and the artwork straight out of Police Notes. What is not to like? Unfortunately, the game controls terribly. before you take that criticism on face, let me go on record as saying that I absolutely love tank controls in old survival horror. I love looking up and down with shoulder buttons in old PS1 FPS games, and I love everything about Blue Stinger, plus hella other B-tier titles, so I'm not a choosy man. I am not Mr. 60 FPS PC Master Race. I am an enjoyer, but I cannot enjoy this. Kei, or Kei, responds to my inputs about 5 seconds after I input them, and even then swings wildly around in every direction. I have to say here, of course, that this game has yet to be translated, and so I've got no idea what's going on. If I could speak Japanese, then I could follow the plot, and maybe I'd be able to glean some joy from that narrative, as I've got no doubt it's probably humorous and fun. But as it is, I'm stuck in this uninspiring hotel corridor with these shitty controls and this one openable room and the dead woman and the 2 enemies that I can beat and then get the keycard, but then I don't know where to go next. But I'll tell you where we're going to go next. Cool Toon. It's a kind of fun rhythm game with that 6th gen art style that lots of indies seem to go for right now, and I sort of enjoy it. Certainly the best rhythm game I've ever played. I'm never going to love that type of game, but this is better to me than Guitar Rock Hero, and it doesn't require any dumb peripherals. It's also more interesting to me than Space Channel 5, which is a game I guess I should talk about one day, since Sega apparently greenlit a movie where Ulala does TikTok dances or something. I'm not joking about that, by the way. Anyway, Cool Toon. I don't know anything about the plot, but I am this little kid with the albino rabbit jumping out of the TV and forcing me to dance to some pretty hot beats. The input here is kinda unique, as not only does it ask me to press buttons in time, which is pretty standard, but then I also have to move my analog stick into a certain position, resulting in an interesting combined control scheme. Ultimately, there is only so far you can go with rhythm games. I want to get hyped. And I was pretty hyped when the channel got over 100 subscribers, so thanks for that. And I'll continue to be hyped, because I present to you this. Oh my god, is that little cat gonna be okay? Don't worry, he is. But that doesn't change the fact that this intro is the most fucking hype shit I have ever seen in my entire goddamn life. The cold open, the big contextless explosion, the Adventure Time art, the cute but badass protag, the mystery, the drama. Sengoku Turb fucking slaps. Artistically anyway, the gameplay is just okay. We play as this cool girl here with the heterochromia, that means her eyes are different colours, I googled it. And some kind of ghost blew up this big love heart reactor, so now I'm on this other planet here and I have to go and talk to a king and a chef, and now apparently I'm like the leader of a cat army or something. Sengoku refers to a period of civil war in Japan, so it's safe to assume that there is a war going on here. What do though? Well, you get thrust into the action with this big sword that you can swing once, and then you have some little cat soldier buddies, and then you kinda Hogs of War this bitch. But not turn-based like Hogs of War, it's more like real-time Hogs of War. You can move and do one swing, you fight ghosts. There are peaceful villagers and transparent houses. I'd love to talk about this one more, I really would, but I don't know what the hell's going on. I also got killed pretty quick, so I'm not very good at it, but hey, I do like it. It's got a very special feeling to it, and I'd love to see a translation someday. If that ever happens, I will for sure come back and do a deep dive, as this game's got some of that secret sauce going on that just sings to a guy like me. Let's chill out a little bit now with a cutesy puzzler. Welcome to Tako no Marine. You play as this 2D anime girl, and your 2D anime dad gets turned into a crude polygonal octopus. Very nice. So if I had to guess, I'd say this is probably some kind of spell or curse that we gotta break, since your dad doesn't look particularly happy about being an octo. It's extremely cute, but essentially it does just shake out as a very simple puzzle game. You step on a switch, look in a bin, throw a big bomb to explode the fence. It seems like you just gotta navigate to the end of each level avoiding hazards. It's a point and click too, so you'll just be selecting spots on the grid to walk to rather than controlling this last directly. I suspect this was just a cute little game aimed at a very young audience to get them used to playing video games, unless I hit some kind of crazy difficulty spike later. It seems just like a little novelty thing, but I wanted to include it because I quite like the aesthetic and the premise seemed pretty unique. And speaking of unique aesthetic things that I dig, have a look at Boku, Yume no Tatsujin. The overworld map in this game here is super gorgeous. Something very naive about it, almost toy-like, or something like a board game maybe. Looks nice. Anyway, you play as this dream master guy and you go from your apartment with the octopus postman out into the town with this girl who loves you for some reason, and then there's also robots and ghosts and that giant frog that will eat you. Your goal seems to be to get a job and earn money, not very based. But each job essentially comprises a minigame and they're kind of fun. I started out by working at this ramen shop as a waiter and my boss wouldn't stop riding my dick about dropping plates and spilling drinks. Also, the patrons are various cute animals, and then there's a giant cockroach that terrorises you. It's also kinda scary. I got into the groove with this game though, but it is merciless. The timer is so long that I felt like I'd really done a full day's graft by the end of it, and that is not fun. So instead of that, I thought I'd get out of the food business for a little bit and try my hand at manual labour. I became a steelworker. You get this big heavy girder thing and you gotta go up the stairs, but random obstacles and people will constantly rush down at you. You need to dodge around. Very precise timing. It's tough. Overall, I found this game to be kind of inscrutable. But I do love the vibe of the town, the colourful little town with its inexplicable populace, the overall chill, slow life pace of the game, the possibility of many more mini-games. It is something that I'll spend some more time trying to understand, and maybe we'll come back to it. Which is more than I can say for Fire Pro Wrestling D. After the most hype intro since Sengoku Turb, we are treated to an incredibly low quality product. I like wrestling, man. I do. I grew up watching WWF and WCW like many kids in the 90s, and then as I got older I went to some indie shows with my friends, and I even saw New Japan live at the Nippon Budokan. All of that to say that when I picked this up, I expected to enjoy it. Admittedly, I did get this one mixed up with the SNES Fire Pro game, which was written by Suda51 and had that ultra dark ending, but either way, I was under the impression that this series was relatively reputable. Maybe it is, but I don't get it. See, the sprite work is not terrible, but it feels very dated for a Dreamcast game. Other wrestling franchises had already moved over to that 3D polygonal look by this point, and even ECW. But as I always say, I am not a graphics snob, so how does it play? Well, really bad actually. The fighting controls are terrible, you bug out wildly in all direction and hits don't seem to connect unless I'm just seriously suck at the game. The roster's very impressive, mind, and it does have a good variety of modes, so I could imagine someone having big fun with this in a sandboxy kind of way, if they had the patience for that control system. Alas, I do not. But I do have some good news, my friends. The Sega Dreamcast is making a comeback in 2025, at least according to Sega Gaga. Man, the theme for this episode should be hype intros. This makes me want to go and get a job at Sega. Even this very militarized, totalitarian version of Sega. What we've got here is an isometric RPG with my favourite gimmick of all time. You're a new Sega employee and your mission is to save the Dreamcast. If only. The presentation of it all seems very cool and fun and humorous, but again I have to be a broken record and tell you that I can't speak Japanese, and so once again, I await a fan translation. Let me tell you what I do know then. After being briefed by anime Sega people, you are left to freely move around Sega's headquarters, by which I mean you can select one of 4 options, all of which correspond to different things. It seems like there's a lot of depth to this game, honestly. I yearn to understand the story. Anyway, what I ended up doing was going here, which is some sort of hostile place. I couldn't decide if it was like a rival game dev's office or if it was like I was debugging games by fighting the glitches or something. But anyway, you fight these kind of weird bugging out sprites and I don't have any context for them, and the battle system is very cookie cutter RPG. But again, I don't play any RPG ever for the battle system. I care about the world. And what a world this seems to be. An optimistic look to the future where Sega rules supreme and there is a Dreamcast in every home. But real talk, I love Sega just being a dev now anyway, and they still manage to drop baller games left, right and centre, so in a way, we all win. I'm looking forward to the fan translation of Sega Gaga. Come on guys, get on it. I'm also looking forward to Rent a Hero number 2. Come on Toshihiro Nagoshi, get on it. But for now, that's really all I have to say. I do have a few more episodes of Japan-only Dreamcast stuff in the works, so please look forward to those. If you enjoyed this one, please smash that like, sub, bell, etc, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.